of my buddies was telling me that he was with his kids in his car, and somebody cut him off, and he didn't say anything. And his son was like, "Wow, Dad." He's like, "You're a lot more calm." He's like, "You would have ripped that guy up." And he told me, he was like, he goes, "Yeah, okay." He goes, and later he was like, "What environment was I creating for my children? Like, what kind of toxic environment was I then handing my children because I hadn't been able to deal with my stuff?" And he's like, he was like, I almost started crying. He's like, because I realized what I've been doing, and now that he was able to deal with his stuff better, he was like, he's like, now I can create an environment for my children where they can grow up without the trauma and without that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why I asked specifically about the kids. So you told me a story. I don't even know if you remember it. It stuck out so well for my mind. Tell me the story about the dog. You told me the story about how you sat down next to your dog.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a dog. He's still somewhat of a pup. He's almost 2 years old now, I guess. So he's young, still pup. Horrible anxiety. Like he's been super anxious, always anxious around me, super skittish. He's never been hit, beat. Really good. We have other dogs, but the breeder told us not to take him, but my wife fell in love with him, probably because of her bleeding heart, and he was, you know, all the love he needed that I just did not have the capacity for at all, not even kind of or the patience. And I came home after the first treatment, and he would kind of avoid me and be really skittish, and he came up and was just totally like almost normal with me, leaning up against me, wanting to pet him and that, and I was like, what in the world? That was significant too. And I know dogs obviously are incredibly intelligent and intuitive and pick up on a lot. No, that was for me, that was eye opening. Like, whoa, kind of like the story of the kids in the car. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, did he notice that big of a difference from me just after the first treatment? And he has been much better. And I mean that there was a definitive timeline there where there was no denying. There was nothing else different other than that right then and there, and that was like instantaneous. Yeah, when I came home and he was just totally chill and comfortable sitting next to me walking up, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Listening. Normally he'd be all skittish, run to his crate, wouldn't want to come out. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was
So
a pretty cool thing to
we
see.
use dogs to sniff out diabetes, to sniff out epilepsy. Like they'll do all sorts of things where they feel you're about to have a seizure. Like this has been well documented.
Yeah.
And so, that's always one of those things. People always say, if my dog doesn't like you, I don't like you, because dogs have such a great ability to sense people. So that's when you told me that story. I was like, oh, that means so much more to me than everything else. So I was
Right.
so excited when you told me that story. So yeah, that was fantastic.